on Friday, in the olden days, there were no microphones. So the normal walk, he walk inside the right angle, there's a few steps. He passes through the few steps and walk to the bigger tower to call for prayers, to shout for everybody to hear that time is approaching. But now we have a modern society that we have a microphone. And the three walls, the sticks you see are used for the local iron rods to make the walls.
Oh, okay, very famous. Okay.
And it's also part of the Sudanese architecture.
Okay.
In Ghana, and with the 7,000 residents in Ghana, this is the only community you can find 100% Muslim. In other parts of the country, you can't find any community that has 100% Muslim.
Well,
so this mosque is the oldest mosque in Ghana and one of the World Heritage Site building in West Africa. So the age of it is unknown because the first British who were colonizing Ghana, they were passing some slaves and they saw the building and thought in the future it would be important for the future generation. They recorded 1421, that's about 600 years now. Other than that, nobody knows the actual date of it. And the founder of Larabanga community, he actually coming from Saudi Arabia, a town called Medina, and he was a spiritual consultant to a certain warrior known as Smila Ndiura Japa, which is the king of Gonjes. Ndiura Japa was fighting a lot of war. In the olden days, ethnic groups were fighting wars to get a vast land for their people to settle. So someone advised the warrior Ndiura Japa to look for a spiritual man who can pray for him. And then he went to Saudi Arabia. Fortunately now, he met the founder of Larabanga community. And in Saudi Arabia, he was in a clan system. They deal in a clan system up to now. So they chose our founder, which is named as Ibrahim, Idana Ibrahim. So Idana Ibrahim led the warrior to fight a wars to conquer a vast land for his people to settle. So when they were coming from Saudi Arabia, they passes through Sudan and a sub-Saharan African country, where they spend most of their time in South Sudan, where our founder thought that when I got a final settlement, I took a Sudanese architecture to build something like this. So when they were coming, our founder told him that on our way journey, we are going to cross 2 rivers. The third one should be our final settlement. So from there, the first river they could cross was the Red Sea, which is in South Sudan. And the second river they could cross was the White Volta on your way from Tamale to here. And the last river they could cross was the Black Volta, which is between the border from north and south, where the warrior was still insisting to conquer other parts of the land. And when you consider 80% of the northern sector of Ghana, the land belongs to Gonjes. And then because he was pushed by our founder to help him with the spiritual prayers. So in the last river where the warrior could not survive, leaving the founder of Larabanga community, and he was too old, he cannot go back to Saudi Arabia again. He needed a peaceful place to settle. And his settlement he could make was where we have the Mystic Stone, which is about half a kilometer away from here. He settled at the Mystic Stone side. He came and made the stone in a spiritual form. So he settled there for some time, having an intention that one day he would put up something like this nature there. But geographically looking at the place, the site of the stone is very rocky and slopey. He can't put up something like this nature there. So there he was walking with a spiritual spear, promising the spear that wherever he threw the spear and it got landed, that would be his final settlement. So he threw the spear in the middle of the night with spiritual powers. And the next day, he came and found the spear inside this black portion you can see. And it was originally there. There were nothing to show that people had settled here before. Our founder was wondering whether people had settled here before. He could not see any sign. He saw a piece of booklet written in Arabic form. As a pure Muslim, this is God assigned him to settle. So he read the book, the Quran, the paper of the Arabic form. So he read it and then told him that this is where God assigned him to settle. So, and the design and the architecture was already there. So he started building the mosque in a Mahdi form. He built today and he can't put up a wall at the same time. He'll go and rest and the next day he come and continue. And then one day, anytime he built, he would fix the wood to know the level that he been built. And the next day, he came and saw the spear at the holy place so that everybody can go inside to pray. But coming back to the mosque, it has 4 main entrances, and each entrance play a very specific role. And they have Imam entrance, which is the first door he was able to open. And the second door was the general main. And the third door was the Imam, the Muazzin. The Muazzin is the person who called for prayers. And the last door was the ladies' entrance. But sorry, we don't allow non-Muslims to go inside. When our founder passed the law to the community, he said, we still use it as a holy place. So non-Muslims cannot get inside. But we have a duplicate, and then sometimes they can get people through to look inside, but not to walk inside. And then the reason why the doors are very short is that when you are going to go inside in the olden days, to give a respect to the mosque and the local community, you need to bend down to go inside. You bow down to go inside to show some respect. But the inside of it, you can come closer and see. It varies to ventilation. In the daytime, it's very cozy, and in the nighttime, it's very warm. So this is how the inside looks like. So when you can come closer and feel it, you see the evaporation coming out in a cozy form.
So no windows, right?
There are 2 small windows. I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
And this is how the inside is being decked.
Oh, okay.
So those who cannot go inside, this is how the inside looks like. And this was where the founder was buried. When he was getting old, this tree is a baobab tree, the fattest tree in Africa. But when the founder was getting old,
The fattest tree.
yes,
In Africa?
yeah,
Whole Africa?
Thickness.
like
The continent, whole continent?
yeah,
Wow.
but not this tree, like the particular tree of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
kind, the
Got you.
guava.
Kind, okay.
Baobab kind, not this
Okay.
one. There are much trees that like baobab tree. When the founder was getting old, he promised a few followers that anytime, anywhere he died, he should be buried closer to the mosque. And when being buried, they will see a vegetable tree growing up on top of his grave. So after he died, the community buried him here. A few months later, this tree shoot up on top of his grave. So the community took very good care of it until it grew like this. So every year, we also host the oldest Quran in the world, which is also kept in the community here. That when Prophet Muhammad wrote them by hand. So our founder was lucky to have one in the Saudi, in Medina. So when he was coming, you know, it's a big, heavy with 60 chapters in a blanket form, covered with blanket. So when our founder get final settlement, he prayed to God that he left something behind, and he needed to spread Islam around the northern part of Ghana. So then he prayed to Allah and go to the mystic stone site to offer specially and official prayers. When the mosque was when he prayed 1 midnight, he received the Quran, the next door, the front door of the mosque, and then he took it and kept it inside the mosque. But when the modernization came in, people heard out so much about Larabanga, they tried to go inside and touch it, do so many prayers on it, and the community advised them that we can't put it there because mosque is kept for every Muslim. But the Quran, it should be respected in one particular room, in one particular place.
We are going to the stone now, my brother.
Yeah, the mystic stone.
The mystic stone.
Mystic stone.
Supposedly God himself dropped it there.
Yeah, not that. Like they were trying to construct the road,
Yeah.
but anytime like the stone was on that way, so anytime they remove it, it gets back there.
It's back there.
Yeah, it goes back. So because of that, they have to
Mystic
direct
stone.
it or diverge it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. If you guys know anything about it in the comments, comment below, man. We just heard about it, so we're going here now.
Mystic stone.
The mystic stone.
They saw this stone as a mere stone and actually push it aside just to construct the road. But the next day to continue, the stone came back to its original position. So when they came and saw it, actually they became surprised to the extent that they even became afraid and left the stone and ran away. Only they got to some point and then advised themselves and came back to Larabanga community and then rely on the elders those days and beg them to know what actually the stone is. Besides, they're afraid of their lives. So the old people brought them back here and then introduced here to them, saying that here, as you're seeing it, the stone is at the holy site. God Almighty shower blessings here. Why? Because when you look at Ghana as a country, this community has a first mosque that is set in Ghana. You understand? The first mosque in Ghana is the Larabanga Community Mosque. The mosque itself is counted as the oldest also in West Africa. And you know, like I said, Islam religion was in Saudi Arabia, Mecca. People tried to spread it to the other world. The leader who took that first challenge was called Ibrahim. Ibrahim found himself here purposely to spread Islam as a religion. But at the time he found himself here, there was no road at all. But only there were only carrying slaves across here. And slavery at that time actually threatened peace. Why? Because they kill innocent life through the slavery. They maltreat old people. They even rape beautiful girls. All was a worry to Ibrahim, and that couldn't bring peace here. But all he could do is to rely on prayer. And prayer as a weapon, everything is possible. So he found himself sitting on this stone every day, every night. And inshallah, peace prevailed. No more slavery, no more conflict. The man decided to build a mosque first, because at that time, prayer was very expensive. They persuade to people, they convince people to join religion. But all he could do is to put up a mosque first. So he walked around this area, seeing that here actually is not convenient for the mosque. It's so rocky and slopey. By that time, this man was having a spear. That spear is still in Larabanga community. Can you imagine around 1421 thereabout? That spear is in Larabanga community, but only it's kept in a special area. It's not accessible. But when you want to see it, you take through and see the spear. So when he was trying to locate his site for the mosque, he stood by the stone here and threw the spear and traced it. 24 hours, he saw it few distance from here. By that time, the spear went and perched inside a foundation of a mosque, naturally there. So he went and then gathered all the community leaders and introduced the foundation to them. And they started raising it up. They go today, by God's grace, the next day they'll come and also see it at a level that they actually imagine God is with them. So when they finished building the mosque over there, the man brought them back here and then told them that they should take special care of the stone side, that it's a source of blessing and prayers. When you have any challenge in life, you can draw near here and offer your prayer. God will actually answer your prayer. If it is good health that you need, your work side that is not progressing, or any